All right, and we are back here on the GSMC football podcast. And for the final part of the show, we're going to take a look at the updated draft order. We'll go through the top 10 picks, who will be picking in the top 10, what could possibly end up happening within the top 10. So let's look at that right now. So, also got to change the segment title here. So yeah, again, courtesy of our friends at tankathon.com. So this is your top 10 right here. The Vikings are cut off at 11. So at number 10 is the Jets. Then you got the Bears at 9. Speaking of the Bears, I was looking at Instagram and I thought like it was another firing, but the Bears confirmed that they're going to keep Matt Eberflus for next year. So that's some quick breaking news there. Then we got the Falcons at 8, Titans at 7, Giants at 6, Chargers at 5, Cardinals at 4, Patriots at 3, Commanders at 2, and the Bears obviously have the number 1 overall pick. So now, who's going to go where? Now, it still remains to be seen on what the Bears are going to do. Because are they going to take Caleb Williams, or are they going to trade out of this and get more assets? So at least on tankathon.com, they have Caleb Williams going 1, Drake May 2, Jaden Daniels going to the Patriots at 3, Marvin Harrison Jr. going at 4 to the Cardinals, Brock Bowers going to the Chargers at 5, Malik Neighbors going 6th, Olu Fashanu at 7, Dallas Turner at 8, Romeo Odunze at 9, Joe Alt at 10. They got Michael Penix going to the Vikings at 11. So, yeah, I mean that's what at least that's what Tankathon.com has for their mock draft. Again, I mean this is something we talk about. Like where are the Bears? What are the Bears going to do? I mean they can do a lot of different things. With this pick, and yeah, I don't know. I don't know what would be the right. I don't know. It's a tough call as to what they should do. I mean, I think for me, I guess because you know what you have, like you know what you have in Fields. I think if you continue to build around Fields, you'll really get to see what he can do. Because he definitely played better when he came back from injury. Although I wasn't really watching the game closely, but he didn't really perform well against the Packers. But I know some people are complaining about the play calling. But yeah, he passed for what was it? I think he passed for like 148. No touchdowns, no picks. I mean, the Bears went right down the field on their first drive. They kicked a field goal, but they already lost to the Packers first week of the season, and they were a different team, but they did not perform well in this game. So I don't know. I mean, I think you keep Fields and you trade. You get a lot of assets for the number 1 pick, and then maybe you try to like get a Marvin Harrison Jr. if that's possible, to go along with DJ Moore, with Cole Kmet, and with that running attack. You try to get an offensive lineman. I know when I was listening to the radio here on the East Coast yesterday, there's a lot of tackles in this upcoming draft. So, and I know for my team, well, we'll see what the Giants end up doing, but at least we know what left tackle is good. Right tackle is where it's are we sticking with Evan Neal or are we going to go in a different direction? But yeah, I mean the Bears' offensive line, and it doesn't hurt to add another playmaker to this offense if they indeed stick with Fields. So it remains to be seen. But Eberflus is coming back, and the guys in the clubhouse, they like in the locker room they like Fields. I'd rather locker room instead of clubhouse. I'm thinking of based in clubhouse. I associate more with like baseball. Locker room is more like a football term, but yeah, I mean they like Fields. The fans are chanting for Justin Fields. So, I mean, we'll see what ends up happening because this is a big decision, you know. Um, but yeah, so that's where the Bears are at right now, deciding on what they should do at quarterback. Commanders. Listen, I thought that they had something in Sam Howell, but as the season went on, it got worse and worse. So it seems like the Commanders could be taking a quarterback here and moving off of Sam Howell. Um, so again, that remains to be seen. The Patriots are probably taking a quarterback. So yeah, the first three picks most likely are going to be quarterback. Again, depending on what the Bears do. The Cardinals are not taking a quarterback. The Chargers aren't. The Giants probably are. I would think. But then again, you got to look at the offensive line. The offensive line's been a disaster. You know, in the center that they drafted, John Michael Schmitz. They got to try to get him. Try to develop him. You know, it's a tough call with the Giants at 6. Because also the other thing too, they need to improve the offense. Like I think that's what they need to do here, because the defense played better as the season went on. And you know what? The offense did play better as well. But we can't go into next year and your number one wide receiver is Darius Slayton, which is he? Actually, I don't even know if he's even going to be on the team next year. He might be a free agent. What is Darius Slayton's contract? But yeah, it's just they need to get a number one wide receiver on this team. Like the quarterback situation, like Daniel Jones is not the guy. I think you need to get another quarterback. Now, I'm okay with... Okay, so he did... Oh, so he signed a 2-year deal, Slayton. Okay. So, yeah. But the Giants got to get another wide receiver in here. Like, we can't have these guys as our top weapons. Like, Wan'Dale Robinson, he was producing, but we need a number one wide receiver to go along. And you got Waller there, who had a tough first year, and we'll see if he ends up staying, but they got to get somebody else. They got to get another playmaker. They just have some holes on their offense, but it starts off with the offensive line and the quarterback. Like, I think that's what you need to get right first before you start addressing if they let Barkley go, get another running back, a receiver. We'll see. Yeah, and then Tankathon here has Brock Bowers going at 5 to the Chargers. Yeah, I don't know if the Chargers are going to do that. I think you need to try to get, some guys on defense, an offensive line, maybe offensive line help. I think that's where you got to, because Gerald Everett's an okay tight end. You also got Parham. Oh, again, Brock Bowers, that adds another weapon, to go along with Keenan Allen and Joshua Palmer and I know Eckler. We'll see what ends up happening with him if he goes somewhere else. Mike Williams is coming back off of the ACL injury. But I feel like the defense, that needs to be addressed more so than the offense. But we'll see. Yeah, I mean, the Cardinals, if they got Marvin Harrison Jr., that would be good. That would be good for them. But that's a team that's got a lot of holes as well. But we'll see what ends up happening there. Also, the Jets, they got Tankathon has them getting Joe Alt from Notre Dame, offensive tackle. Listen, the Jets got to get offensive linemen. That's what they need to do. If Aaron Rodgers is coming back, and he's been in the news a lot lately for other things outside of football, but I'm not really going to get into it. With Aaron Rodgers coming back for not just next year, but he wants this to be a multi-year thing. You gotta protect him. Like, you have to, because he's gonna get hurt again. He will get hurt again, and you need to build a stone wall around him. Now, you go out and you draft linemen, and then you trade for Devontae Adams. Yeah, you're in good shape then. because Brees Hall finished off the season, and now Garrett Wilson is now the number two option. Um, that would be that would be good. Have because Devontae Adams, bringing him in, that's somebody that actually would help the Jets. I mean, you brought in Lazard, you brought in Randall Cobb. I mean, I thought Lazard would be better, but Randall Cobb is getting older. He's not the same. He's not 2014 Randall Cobb. And Tim Boyle. The guys that Rodgers, had them bring in just did not really. They didn't really help. I mean, Lazard was huge disappointment. Because I thought Lazard could still be good, but I mean, without Rodgers, he was just a non-factor. He was a healthy scratch. They didn't play him at times. So, yeah, the Jets are going to have an interesting offseason. But even if, also with the Bears, even if they don't get Marvin Harrison Jr., like I said, Tankathon has them getting Roma Dunze from, if that's how you pronounce his name, I apologize. Again, from Washington. Their number one wide receiver. So, I mean, to add another weapon, that would definitely help. But again, it all depends on who's playing quarterback. That's like one of the biggest things going into the draft is what the Bears are going to do with that pick. But we'll see. I know they have Dallas Turner from Alabama, their edge rusher, going to Atlanta here. But Atlanta's another spot where I think they probably go quarterback. So let's see. So Bears, I have no idea yet. Washington quarterback, Patriots quarterback, so that's 2. Titans, you probably stick with Levis, for another year, I would think. Falcons quarterback, Jets. I don't think quarterback. So I think it's. So you got those 3 teams. Oh, wait, and the Giants. So Giants, Patriots, Commanders, Falcons. So that's 4 teams right there. And then if you have the Bears or another team that just comes out of nowhere, that's 5. So 5 quarterbacks probably are going to be taken within like the first 15 picks. Maybe. I mean, again, I'm not a draft expert, but those are at least teams that need a quarterback. I mean, maybe the Commanders say, yeah, we'll stick with Sam Howell. Yeah, so 4 or 5 quarterbacks are probably going to be taken. Yeah, because again, like you got the Falcons with they have Dallas Turner going there. I think the Falcons are going to take a quarterback. I don't think they're going to stick with Desmond Ridder. But again, we'll see. I mean, this is just my opinion. I don't know. But let me know what you guys think about the top 10. Who you see going where. Again, it's only January. We got some time before we get to the draft. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much it for the show for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll be back again tomorrow, 11 a.m. We'll be back 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. So make sure to tune in. Get you guys set for the playoffs. A few days away. And then we're off and running there. So, so with that is all the time that we have for today. Thank you guys for watching. Like I said, we'll be back again 11 a.m., 11:30, 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. I can't even talk. So make sure to tune in for it, 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. So until then, I'm Kenneth Grunfelder signing off from the GSMC Football Podcast brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Have a good day, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care.